We're going to edit a page in the Guidelines platform. To do that, we're going to head to our dashboard and click on the website we want to edit. If we've got permissions, we'll head to a screen which looks like this. We'll have our editor on the right and our page navigation on the left. Now, editing text on a page is really simple. You can click on the text and style it and edit it as you like. So I'm actually going to call this one a brand style guide. And I'm going to give the company name here as well. That's automatically saved, and any collaborator who's working in Guidelines with you will see your updates live. Once we're ready to save our changes, we can simply click Publish. Publishing publishes this to anyone who has access to view your guides. Maybe that's people who work on your team. Now, that's editing text on the page. You can do a lot of formatting with text. So for example, we want to apply our typography styles. We can see in the top menu bar that this is the large heading. Now we can change it to any one of the typography styles that we have in Guidelines. If we have editing access, we'll also see this Manage Typography section. This allows us to change the specifics of these typography styles. Now these changes go across the board for every site that uses this brand. So be careful who you give these editing permissions to, because they will apply globally. But it's a great way for brand designers to be editing, adding, and crafting these styles as your brand guidelines come together. So let's put this back to heading large. You'll also see that there's a heading 1 indicator here. This is telling people who use screen readers or SEO search bots how your content should be interpreted. So as your page is coming together, we want heading 1 per page, and then we want to layer down with heading 2s, heading 3s below that, heading 4s below heading 3s. So this is a way that you can keep this style, but change the actual tag for your heading. Of course, you can recolor fonts, you can recolor text, so any color that we have in our system, we're able to select here. Now you may think, why can't I choose just any color? Well, as a brand style guide, we want to make sure we're on brand. So we only give you the colors that you've actually selected for your brand. Of course, if you have the edit permissions for the brand, you can simply manage your palette here and add the colors that you need. Of course, bold and italics is there. Making links is an opportunity to link to content. You can also link to other pages within Guidelines, or you can link to an external URL. So that's the basics of editing text, but every block you'll see has the ability to change its style, its look, and its feel. So within the toolbar, every block that we select will have some options. For example, in this block, I can change the base color to turquoise, for example, or I can change it to cyan. This is currently all getting overwritten by this white text here, so I'll just remove that, and I can see what this text block is doing. If I remove that, it'll take the default color. I can add a border, I can give the border some width, I can add a background color to the section to make it stand out. So I really can use some of these tools to design the page that I want. In my layout, I've got some fine-grained control over things like alignment, padding, corner radiuses, those kinds of things. Now, I might want to remove that border because I don't think that's looking quite right. This is looking how I want it. I'll just click Publish again, and then that will go live. There's a few other things you may want to think about when editing the page, and this is up in the editing menu for the page itself. We have a title, but we also have the slug, the part of the URL which comes after that slash of your domain. You can also give it a meta description and a share image if you want. There's a few more publishing actions which we'll cover here, and that's in the bottom right-hand menu. So here you can see that we've published the page, but we may actually want to unpublish that. We can always revert to a draft. If we like, we can take the entire content from this page and click Duplicate or Delete Page if we like. So those are some of the basic editing functions within your site on Guidelines. You can apply this to any page that you work with.